Okay, welcome to episode 1 of the Activate Development podcast. Today we'll give you a short spiel of who we are, what we do, where we come from, and see where we end up.
How are you, bro?
Yeah, good. Another day in the non-sunshine coast at the moment. Lots of rain, which is lovely.
Episode 1, 12 months since we've started, pretty much.
Pretty much, eh? What a crazy time for both of us. And growth and stress and lots of learnings along the way. It's been a hell of a ride, but it's been good.
I can say that again, eh?
Been real good.
Think about it, December 23, we were both pretty crapped off at what we were doing.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Just like, start our own thing.
Yeah, caught up over a couple of beers at my joint and spun our heads together and come up with a few ideas and decided to have a crack, eh?
Had a business meeting, first one.
Yeah.
That was fucking gold.
Business meeting on the home deck where all the master plans are made.
No, I think it was actually, what really started Activate was that, I guess, annoyance at what the industry is like at the moment. Like working for builders who that taking shortcuts or treating employees the way we wouldn't treat our employees, or we wouldn't want to be treated ourselves, and it was like, we can do better than that. So
yeah, absolutely. That comes on many different fronts, obviously, with personal and business. Like, yeah, we obviously spun our heads together with both of our learnings and gone, right, we can do this better, and we will do this better.
Yeah,
use our learnings and our own little spiel of things. Obviously, being young and very hard work ethic men. We just strive to give the customers the absolute best of the best. So.
Yeah, and like, it's crazy. Like, we're both 24.
25.
Yeah, you're 25. Yeah. But I would be struggling to find another two 24-year-olds who are, number one, who get their builder's license and get out and fucking make this shit happen. But yeah, and like, we are young and we've definitely made some mistakes along the way, but man alive, it's crazy to think we're here. Man, it's only 12 months. What do we got? 11 employees, me and you.
Yep.
We've said some, we've smashed what our expectations were to start off with.
Our goals when we first had our first business meeting.
Yeah.
I think we strive just to do a couple of jobs and see where it'd go, and just turnover. I think the number was only about 400k a rev or whatever, and where we're sitting at the moment for the year.
More than 4 times that or whatever.
Night and day, isn't it? No, we obviously got ourselves the opportunities from work ethic, and we had a deep dive and made the most of them opportunities and took it and ran. I think that's just a big learning for anybody out there that is thinking about having a crack or whatever. It's just, you don't know unless you don't try. Like, use your work ethic, use your skills, make it happen. Like, that's what we done.
And it's like literally the same thing with this podcast. We're taking a stab in the dark, to be honest. Like, we created this, like, literally just to, obviously speak to industry leaders, I guess. We've obviously built a lot of relationships over the past, for me, ever since I moved to the coast 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Coast is a very small kind of community, having worked in Brisbane and Canberra and wherever else. It's like, the coast is it's a city, but it's also still such a small town. Yeah,
it surprises me. So I grew up in a small town, Port Fairy, down in southwest Victoria. Well, I think that's only 4,000 people. We do work in Warrnambool, 15 minutes away. That was 30,000 people. But the similarities on the coast, given the amount of volume of people, everyone still knows everyone. Like, it's small town vibe, but it's still, well, nearly a city. Like, what's going on at Maroochydore at the moment and the town plan, it's like scary but exciting for what the growth rate of Sunshine Coast is going to be like.
It's such a small community, but especially in construction, everybody knows everybody. I think, like, even whether you're doing resi or commercial, like, or even all the, I don't know, like some of the builders that we've spoken to, they all know each other. They know the quality of work you do. Like the amount of chippies that go from builder to builder, and you hear stories, and you kind of, you know what goes on in everyone's businesses. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's kick it off. Let's start with, where did you first get started in construction?
Pretty much. So I've been in construction ever since fucking day dot, to be fair. A little bit different to what I'm doing now. Started off in structural steel, so actually a lot with transport and main roads, overpasses and whatnot. Basically started working on the tools for about 6 months. From there, like, an opportunity came up in terms of like procurement, and tendering and whatnot. Was in that for 12 months, and they were like, you're doing a pretty fucking good job. So got promoted to project manager. Managed some pretty decent sized projects. Probably the biggest one I did was project, which was obviously I was born in Toowoomba. Spent a lot of, up until I was about 20 there, 19, 20. The bypass viaduct project, which was a $10-15 million project. From there I went into commercial building facades, so a lot of buildings, especially along the eastern seaboard, have combustible cladding, so I worked with big guys on design, so did the PA hospital, bunch of projects in Brizzy. Went down to Canberra, worked with a lot of defence buildings, which it's all like super project management heavy, like live buildings. You can only work from 11 p.m. till 3 a.m. while the building's not live, and it was just a lot of good stories came out of that. And then lived in Brizzy for a year, did a lot of that there, and then went down to Canberra, then went back to Toowoomba actually for about 6 months, and then headed up here. Here we are today. Pretty crazy. It's probably not your typical like builder story. I think yours is probably more that. I think that's like the beauty of us getting together as well, is like obviously got so much experience in that commercial project management. And I asked you the same question. What was your journey getting here?
Well, didn't have much choice, thanks to the old man. So the old man was a builder down home. Builder for maybe 40 years now, and just always been in the trade and have his own. He's always been self-employed. He doesn't know any different. So I think I left school when I was 16 and jumped straight into an apprenticeship with him. Just learn the ins and outs, and obviously when Dad gets home he does the paperwork, and I'm computer literate. He's not, so I got to see all the behind the scenes very early on into how a business works, paperwork side of building and all that, which it is a hidden thing with building, all the paperwork side of it and your contracts and all that. It's just, it never ends. So yeah, done my apprenticeship, then started leading jobs, residential houses, new builds, renos, and then also commercial. So got to build a couple of pubs, a brewery and a pub down home. That was some of the best work I've done to date. Just awesome work. And then when I was qualified, kept doing that for a bit, and then decided to take the plunge and moved to Queensland, moved to some warmer weather. Once I moved up here, worked for Gold Leaf Constructions as a chippy. Before I got my feet on the ground and whatnot, you'll hear from Kyle Gold Leaf at some stage in a future podcast. You'll get to hear his story. It's bloody awesome. And then from there just kept working my way through the coast, and then met Jacko at Ambrose Construct, where we done some insurance supervising. Yep. Got to know each other a bit there, and then after that we decided to catch up and take the plunge.
Yeah.
So
crazy, because I never would have thought that, like, if you'd told me 12 months ago, 2 years ago, that we'd be sitting here doing this with our own business pumping along, like, I would have just laughed
crazy
in your face.
stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
And like in saying that, I think we've both achieved some pretty big goals, which is pretty exciting. And I think, obviously what Activate is focused on is that client experience. And I think our story is definitely important to that, but also, like, we want to make it the story going forward that, our clients get the best, our employees get the best, guys love coming to work. Every day, every day is not going to be a great day. Like, sure, we still have days where we're like, fuck, like, this is hard shit, but at the same time, like, attitude and effort and just, it goes a massive way. Yeah.
Oh, one thing I've really learned along the way is transparency, which that's obviously one of our main company values. Like, from the absolute start, once we get onto site with the client, like, we want to be fully transparent from the get-go, all the way through our quotes, all the way through the job. Just talk with your client. Like, if you bottle stuff up, or if your client bottles stuff up, it holds that tension. If you get that real client value of transparency, where they can come to you at any time, we can come to them at any time. Just everything just flows a lot better, and nothing hidden. It's just you're dealing with everything. And there is problems in construction. Let's be honest. There's always going to be little hiccups or leaks or anything like that. So you just hit the nail on the head. Keep talking, keep communicating, and just solves everything, I reckon. So
I think so obviously transparency was like what we founded on, but it's like, that's probably our number one. And then also, just as you said, if we have a problem, we don't just shy away from it and say, oh no, this is not our responsibility. We will step up and get it fixed, which is honestly probably one of the bigger points where a lot of builders don't do that. And I'm sure you'll found as well, like, if you do that, the problem just gets bigger. Doesn't go away.
Just builds.
And obviously transparency, we provide very in-depth pricing and all broken down so our clients can see it. We provide project schedules, and we will work to them the best we can. Obviously, as we're experiencing now, we've had a few projects that have been affected by rain. Obviously we have to manage subcontractors, etc. But that's all part of being a builder, and I think it's really what sets you apart in those situations is your responsiveness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just jumping onto it and getting it done.
Well, it comes back. You can try and always have an absolute clean run, but then we're not weathermen. If it rains, we've just got to take it with two fistfuls and do our absolute best.
What does your version of success look like over the next 12 months?
Version of success? I'd like to keep building, activate, and making it a very known name on the coast. Or even wherever this podcast reaches. Unknown at the moment. It's kind of making our name known, and almost setting industry standards where we can lift the standard for construction. Like, construction has got that name where I guess builders, they always try and take our money and whatnot. It is not the case. Like, we can't control price of materials going up or material shortage throughout COVID even. Like, we can't control any of that. Taxes, they're going up. Like, us as a business, or any other business for that matter, we can't cop them costs to keep going. Like, we have to sustain some point. So I guess if we can kind of educate and help any young builders out there, or any builders learn a few things, that's kind of that'd be my kind of side as a success story at the moment.
I think I'm obviously very much on the same page. I think we both think pretty similar. But obviously just want to activate, running at maximum capacity, delivering great results to, obviously residential and commercial projects. Can we do both? Obviously leading into our long-term goal of doing developments ourselves. Which is probably a point we should touch on, is like that builder-developer relationship. Just because there is so much development getting done up here at the moment.
Massive amount.
I think the next 12 months is going to be probably just as intense as the first 12 months, unfortunately. I know, looking back at the first 12 months, the amount of fucking 16, 14 hour days we've done, stressing at night, people think owning a business is this sexy job. It's really not.
No.
Managing cash flow, managing people, managing projects, like, it's been so intense. Like,
absolutely.
Literally just...
It's been a roller coaster. Up and down.
Setting, right from the very get-go, building websites, setting up systems, doing marketing. Like, we've had so many instances where, like, we've tried, and you've got to try stuff. We've tried stuff and it doesn't pan out, so we keep evolving, which is actually, I think one thing that we're really good at is we look at our numbers, we look at what's going well, what's going bad, we evaluate it and keep improving, which is obviously really positive from our point.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be proactive in that. You can't be reactive. Like, you've got to evolve. You can't let things slip too far. So totally agree with that.
Give me obviously, we discussed at the start about why we started Activate, but give me some examples out of your experience that you've had with builders which have not been so great.
Yeah, well, first one's transparency. Just not being transparent with your client is just a massive learning. like I've touched on, it just causes massive conflict and it just snowballs. Like, communication is so important. It does really solve everything. And even just reasoning and giving a full in-depth examples or why, what, how. Like, it just really helps the client to understand, really. What's some of yours?
I think for me is communication. I've worked in so many, because before I obviously started Activate, I was actually working for a developer on the coast. And the team environment that I was in was just so uncohesive, which is, it doesn't end well. There's just a total lack of continuity within the team. And that, it leads to really poor results financially for the project you're on. I think setting clear expectations for our team, like our team obviously, having clear outlines for everyone. I've definitely been, because obviously in project management, probably the biggest one is being able to make things visual for people. Whether that be like project plans, task lists or whatever. But I've found if you don't do that, you just go downhill so quickly. But it's probably the main kind of, I guess, thing I've seen the most over the past 10 years I've been working. But definitely something that we're constantly working on in our business, obviously. On that, like, if you had to go back right to the start when we had that first meeting, over the past 12 months, like, is there anything that you'd want to take back and start again?
I'm going to say no, because it's made us who we are today. Like, it's going to be a bumpy roller coaster road. It is not going to be smooth sailing. As much as it's all made out to be, how easy it is to have a business and run this and run that, it doesn't happen. You got financial struggles, you've got team struggles, you got just building struggles where you're allocating your time to this, and then this over here is happening where you don't have time for. So for me, I wouldn't change a thing. Our lessons that we've had are really good, because all it is just helping Activate grow, and also me as a person, but also the business. So I wouldn't change a thing.
Definitely on the exact same page. Like, we have learnt so much. We've had some times where, like, we think we're doing great, and then life comes around and slaps you in the face and be like, here's another problem for you. But, like, beauty of that is, like, I think me and you have the same attitude where we're just like, fuck it, we're going to get in and work, and we're just going to work until this problem's solved. Then once the immediate issue is solved, we're like, how do we put a process in place to stop this happening again?
Exactly.
And that's how you get better.
Absolutely. Everyone can say they're the best and all that from the absolute start, but really it's all about the lessons you learn, and the more lessons you learn, the more you grow and the better you can be.
Funny one for you. If you had to build a celebrity's house, who would you want to build?
It'd have to be Happy Gilmore, I reckon. Be Happy Gilmore, I reckon, or Kevin Hart. I reckon. I reckon that'd be awesome to build for, just given their comedy background and all that. I don't reckon that'd be easy to build for. But I reckon they'd have some nice houses and whatnot. So, what about yourself?
Fuck, I don't know, to be honest. A bit like Chris Hemsworth, being an Aussie. He's got a sick joint down in Byron Bay.
Yeah, a big gym.
Fucking so good.
Oh.
I know I definitely like that style of, well, the previous house he built anyway.
Yeah.
Like somewhat integrated into nature.
Yeah.
Feel. Yeah, so I'd probably go with Chrissy.
Yeah, that's good. He hasn't forgot where he's come from. He's made all the fame, but he still loves Australia.
Aussie.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Personally, over the next 12 months, what's really important to you?
Yeah, at the moment it's just we've got a huge focus on getting our processes down pat, educating our team. So instead of just hiring someone, let's train in-house. Let's help achieve our employees' goals as well. Like we do all our employee reviews and get their goals and what they want to achieve in life and at work and stuff, and see where we can align and help them. I think that's a big thing, and that just goes back to, we want our working environment at Activate to be as enjoyable as possible. Like we work to live or live to work, whatever you want to say that. So I guess, yeah, if you make a very good environment where everyone wants to come to work, the camaraderie of everyone evolves and comes together. It just builds on your team, and it also helps jobs for clients run smoother as well. Like our lads might be happy to do an extra hour here and there and go the extra mile. So if you provide that really good environment, I think it makes a heck of a difference as well.
Definitely. Like, I almost see the guys that we've got now, and we've got like a pretty large team now, to be honest. Like, I feel like it's on the bigger side. I almost feel like some of them are just probably all of them just feel like extended family, to be honest. Like
absolutely.
They're like brothers or whatever. It's crazy. I think that's really important, because it also builds that feeling of like they're included in the business as we grow, because they can grow as well. I think that's been something we've both been pretty big on right from the start. It's just like, get those guys involved. You win as a team, you don't win as
absolutely
a single man running the show. And what that does in result, as you said, is that it gives our clients better results, because, you know, say something does turn to shit, we've got employees that will be willing to go the extra mile to make whatever happen to get it right, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
and absolutely. Like, gone are the days when your boss is your boss. You're scared to talk to your boss. You're scared to open up with your boss. I believe we've created this environment where anybody can come to me. Righto, I'm having a bit of a shonky week. Catch up. Let's have a beer. Like, just hit the nail on the head. Comes back to transparency and communication again within our work environment. Like all these days where your boss is this big scary man and stuff. It needs to be. It is phasing out. And I hope anybody listening to this podcast can learn and be or create that real good work environment with your team where everyone kind of gels together. They've got that mateship, Australian mateship. They all work together as a team and get the job done.
Obviously, like you running more of the construction side, probably start off with an apprentice. Like, what do you look for in an apprentice?
What do I look for in an apprentice? An apprentice who asks questions and doesn't shy away from a challenge. That to me is probably the first thing I'll look at. Is someone who's keen to crack in and have a go. you're not going to know everything as an apprentice. You are learning. You are at school.
Yep.
Like, if you've got the opportunity to have a crack at something, go and have a crack.
Yep.
It's visually, to me, that gains so much respect.
Yeah.
And me as a boss, I will not get angry at someone having a crack and making a call. 9 times out of 10, they're going to make the right call.
Yep.
But 1 out of 10 times, it might be wrong.
Yep.
Let's teach them not to make that same mistake. So if they're asking the right questions and having a crack, I think their apprenticeship is just going to go a lot faster, smoother, and become a better carpenter out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a big thing that I look for in apprentices is simply attitude. Like, you're not turning up to site and spending 2 hours looking at your phone throughout the day.
It's a big one, yeah.
Like, you know, we've got apprentices who are runners. Like, they work, so they just, like, everything is into their work. And, you know, that's exactly what we want, like, out of them, because they're also learning while they're doing that. And then obviously, yeah, that leads straight into work ethic, like attitude and work ethic. I don't care, like, if you're just starting out in your apprenticeship and you've only got hand tools, like, I'm going to hire you over someone who has all the tools, all the big kit, but has a piss poor attitude. Like, it's just it's two different worlds.
Yeah, and age is just a number.
Yep.
We've found that. Like, it comes back to attitude and work ethic. Like,
yeah.
You might have a mature age apprentice, but they might not align with our company goals and meet that work ethic and attitude. But we might have a young guy coming out from school who just really wants to get in and have a crack. I know who I'm going to pick.
Yeah.
Like, night and day.
Yeah. And like the same with, like, qualified chippies, I think, for me is, I find a lot of chippies they can all do the same work, if you know what I mean. Like, most of them have a pretty good level of qualification on the coast. But what really sets you apart is, number one, willingness to keep learning, and willingness to have that attitude of, like, just being a goer.
Yeah.
Ready to face issues, not bitching on site, like, all the time. And because unfortunately in the building game there is a bit of that, you know.
A lot of it, yeah.
On site can be a bit of a fucking playground at times. And like, that's okay if you're just hanging shit on each other and having a good time, but yeah, obviously there's a point where there's a time to do that and there's a time not to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously moving forward we're going to do a lot more podcasts with just industry leaders across the coast.
Yeah.
Which I think will be interesting. It'll be interesting for our listeners, viewers, to kind of get a different perspective. So that'll be obviously developers, tradies, clients, maybe even.
Other builders, clients,
clients, architects,
suppliers, even.
Yeah. Yep.
Touch on the different aspects of construction, because it is a very vast industry.
Yep.
Very vast. You've got your commercial, you've got your residential, industrial, renos, all that vastness. So yeah, hopefully
development
podcasts with development to see where we end up with it. It'll be pretty exciting, I reckon.
Yeah. Obviously this being our first, what's one thing you want the listeners to take away from?
I reckon, if someone learns one little thing out of our podcast, that's awesome. Like, it's only going to help the industry grow. We've got a lack of industry construction workers, so it used to be very cutthroat, and I think now construction is evolving and changing.
Yep.
Let's not make it scary for everyone, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, and like, to be honest, one thing that doing podcasts is probably not my strong suit. It's like,
definitely not mine.
Fucking, I'm so out of my comfort zone here, it's not funny, but I think it's also like, there's somewhat of a stigma in construction. I'm a bloke's bloke, you know, and you're going to get me in front of a fucking camera or whatever, but...
I can read and write, but I can't scream.
But I think, like, obviously this podcast is pretty formal, but I think, you know, moving forward we'll have a few informal ones and a bit of shit talking, but I think the main point of the podcast is just for education. Yeah. From all angles of construction, whether that be one of our chippies coming in, which obviously got lined up.
Yep. Big Benny B.
Yeah.
King of West Sydney. Also the Prince of Perigian too. He'll tell you all about it.
Shout out to Benny. But you know, from every level, so from guys on site up to developers who are making pretty massive calls on developments around the coast. So
yeah. No, it's definitely going to be exciting, and we will touch on all different aspects. So we're not going to be just locked into rambling onto the same thing every week or fortnight, whenever we're doing them. But we'll touch on different things, and hopefully, you guys can learn something. Yeah,
looking forward to it, bro. Big 12 months. Another big 12 months.
Another 12 months. What's another one after that? Keep on going.
Yep. Keep on improving.
Oh, beauty. Well done, bro. It's exciting to see where we're at. That wraps up this podcast, and see you next time.
Catch you on the next one.